Hey guys, it's me. So Finch was released not too long ago and I finally got to watch the film. Here's my non-spoiler review of Finch. I will be sharing my thoughts of what I think of the movie and overall my likes and dislikes of the film. Finch is set in a post-apocalyptic world where there was a solar flare that destroyed the Earth's ozone layer. This basically makes the planet uninhabitable and full of UV radiation, so just a few seconds under the sun will cook a man instantly. So obviously not many people survive and are left alive in these harsh conditions. Tom Hanks plays an engineer named Finch, a very talented engineer who is one of the few survivors of the world. And this movie mostly covers about how he and his companions survive in this wasteland. It's interesting to see Tom Hanks plays a character in a sci-fi movie. I don't remember if he have played any role like that previously, so the premise itself is interesting enough for me to want to check it out. Finch may be one of the few humans left alive in this world, but he's not alone. He has a few companions with him, a pet dog which became very close with him throughout the years. You could say the dog is also what drives him to be alive, so he can feed the dog and take care of it. A robot rover, which is kind of like his assistant and scout throughout the years. And a robot assistant which Finch have just recently created named Jeff, which plays a huge role in the movie. During the first act of the film, due to the weather conditions of the world, Finch had no choice but to flee his home, which he reluctantly did. And throughout the movie, Finch can be seen teaching Jeff to quote-unquote survive in the world and how to assist him because the world outside is dangerous. Jeff's existence can be compared to Pinocchio, where he existed being unaware and uneducated of the conditions of the world. So Finch is kind of like that kind of movie where Jeff is like a real boy, slowly being self-aware, maybe perhaps being a bit more human as time passes. I was pretty surprised by how fast Jeff the robot actually learned new skills. Jeff picks up real complex skills in a very short time. One example I could give is when Finch shows Jeff how to walk and move, and the robot probably learned that within 2 hours. That's really fast. Maybe because things had to happen in between and the story have to progress faster. But if that's the case, then why make the robot incapable to walk in the first place? And made Finch spend half the time to teach him these skills? You know what I mean? Anyway, the speed of Jeff learning the ways to survive breaks a bit of the immersion to me, because I felt no way could a bot learn that quick, no matter how advanced our technology is, and the world doesn't look that advanced too. The plus side of this is we could see Tom Hanks' wonderful performance. I mean, he is Tom Hanks. He carried the film. Due to the minimal cast, Tom Hanks shines in this movie. We get to see him communicate with Jeff the robot and sharing stories, talking about life and death. We get to see his performance with the dog too, which is heartwarming. And the dog looked pretty comfortable in the movie too. He barks, he runs around, he gets afraid, he gets sad. He's a good doggo. And it's also unfair to just say that Tom Hanks is the winner of the film, because the voice actor of Jeff, Caleb Landry Jones, is also well done. Because he plays a robot, his voice was made to sound like a Google text-to-speech application. But even so, there were times where his voice sounded more natural, like a human. I think that really blends well with Finch. So the fact we have two excellent casts is reason enough to check this movie out. The cinematic and graphics in this movie is well done too, especially the way Jeff was animated. If you've seen Chappie the movie, their movement is quite similar. The way he walks and shows body expressions are quite the same. This movie setting is limited too. There's nothing much to look at. It's mostly dry and set mostly in deserts, empty buildings, sand dune. So the movie is mostly reddish brown. I understand if some people don't find it that appealing to watch. The movie itself is a chill watch overall. There are scenes where life and death situations appeared and it made me slightly nervous, but I do think it's a slow paced movie. There were many times where we find them just sitting down and talking, which kind of put the story on pause for me. So, after having finished watching the movie, I am mostly satisfied on how the movie ended, but I can't lie when I say that I'm confused by what the movie is actually about. Is it about the environment and how humans should take care of our planet? Or is it about AI and how robots can learn emotions and compassion? Or is it about survival skills 101? Because I find the movie skims through these topics and put the focus more on Finch and his journey. Ultimately, I guess this movie is about a man and his unorthodox companions just searching for a better life somewhere out there in the wasteland. And that's okay if you're okay. It's definitely not for everyone, and that's okay too. So I hope this review kind of clears the air on what this movie is. And if you're interested, I hope you guys check this movie out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Let me know what you guys think of Finch. I would love to know your opinions. Thanks.